Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's inspiring story will be with Ashleigh Morghan, who is an actress. I'll have to check which one I can and cannot say because I think it's different in the US and the UK. And that rhymes. That's poetry. She is also a poet and has worked in voiceover in video games. She's done motion capture work. You can see her on various TV series and movies on Netflix and HBO. And I am thrilled to have her. I've been angling to get her on the show for a while. She has been very busy playing Elphaba Throp, who is
Elphaba.
in Elphaba Throp from
Throp.
Wicked
Throp.
at Universal Studios in Los Angeles, and she has finally become available. So we're going to dive into that right now. Playfully presented by the American Colin Travis.
The wonderfully beautiful Tommy Rope.
How are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm actually very excited.
What are you most excited about?
Meeting somebody new.
What do you want to learn today?
I've wrote some stuff down.
Ooh.
I want to learn about video game voice work. It sounds super fun. I always felt like audio, recordings, audio work for cartoons, video games,
Yeah.
just seems like you can really be creative, silly, or serious.
I wonder how you guys will connect on, because obviously you like doing your magazine drawings and comic style drawings.
Comic style drawings, yeah.
You know that world, right? You know the DC or the Marvel world. DC, you're a DC guy, right?
Well, at this point, it's DC, it's
Yeah.
Marvel, it's
Wow.
IDW publication, Dark Horse, and Image Comics. Every once in a while, you can throw in a Boom Studios because Boom Studios does,
Hello.
wait for it.
Ashleigh's here.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Have you just woke up?
Yeah.
Do you need a
Too
coffee
early.
first?
No, I used to wake up earlier for this to go to work. So as long as you guys can hear me, because I was trying to think about last night. I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? But I'm using my
Oh,
headphones.
I want to introduce you guys. Actually, you never got to meet Colin because he wasn't really ever in LA when I lived there. And I told Colin you about Ashleigh a bunch of times because she's cool and we have
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
good scenes and stuff. But yeah, there you go, meet each other.
Hi, Colin.
Hey, Ashleigh.
How are you? Good morning.
I'm doing great. I've already been to my Cheers cafe called Devil's Food Bakery.
Whoa.
So I've had a few chats with a few people. I sang some Sam Smith to my friend Amber. So
Oh,
I'm riding high today.
you've had quite the morning, Colin.
Actually, yeah, I'm not telling the full truth. I was dancing with my daughter to Miley Cyrus before that.
Oh,
And so it's just been, getting into the performance today, having a good time.
And he's only been awake for 20 minutes as well.
no. I feel
I've been
like
awake
such a
for
slacker.
no, you're good. You're on a totally different time zone. So thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
Wow, I think you guys might have some stuff in common. Colin's like a huge animation fan, especially when it
yeah.
comes to like the
Well,
classic
comic books.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that
sick.
your thing? Do you like that, Ashleigh?
Yes.
I
No,
know
with the
you're into
pause.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
into anime too. I watch like comic animations as well, like comic book shows, but
Yeah, me too.
What's
I
your
don't know
favorite?
like through and through. I don't know through and through. You know what? Growing up, I really liked the Justice League
Yeah.
and Batman Beyond, and I really liked X-Men '97, the new one.
Oh,
Really fun.
the new one was great, right?
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was
It
so well
kept that
done.
nostalgia while still being true to the comics, but also still feeling new, which is really hard to do.
Exactly. I had all the same feelings and the same notes. And X-Men were one of my first loves in comics. And one of my first like really good drawings was of Magneto. It was
Mhm.
like a baseball sized card of Magneto, and I drew it. We still have it. I still have it somewhere. But when they told that story the way they did, Magneto,
Mhm.
he's such a character. He's such like a egomaniacal, but also, I don't know, you kinda root for him a little bit
Still a
kinda character.
yeah, he's still humane. Did you see the
Yeah.
Doomsday trailer?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen like, they've been trickling them out, right? Because it I just saw I didn't watch it yet, but the Patrick Stewart, Charles
Mhm.
Xavier, trailer popped out, so I'm really excited to watch that one. I've seen the Thor and, the
Captain
Captain
America.
America.
I
Yeah, I'm
won't say
super
anything.
pumped.
I was like, "Oh, crap. This movie's gonna be crazy."
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
this is
leave
the
you guys. I'll be back in like
yeah.
an hour.
Yeah,
Is that
Tom, do you wanna
okay?
go ahead and take a lunch?
When when
Oh my
when
god.
Ash when Ashley came in singing, I was like, "Oh, yeah." The stuff that Tommy's told me about you, the things that I've read,
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
"Okay, I think we're kindred spirits for sure. We're gonna have
Oh, for
fun."
Wow.
sure.
You
You're
you
there
got a
too,
bunch of
Tom.
questions.
Yeah.
My spirit with you is still in the back row of Berg Studios.
Laughing at everything.
It's never left.
I
Wait,
was so
wait, wait.
giggly.
You guys sat together when you were in class?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I met Tom through Wilson, right?
Yes. Our
The
mutual.
the the volleyball.
Correct.
Oh,
We were at the beach
starring
in
Tom
Santa
Hanks.
Monica
Yeah.
filming this, commercial, and we wanted some sand volleyball players, and we were down.
And our friend Wilson showed up and we won the game. We have a mutual friend called Wilson who is an actor, also LA based, and he's a
Mhm.
lovely guy. And yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, it was fun. What a
That was so
time.
much. Yeah, yeah. It's
What was the
been a while.
what was the setting when you guys met? Not the beach volleyball, I'm guessing.
Acting class.
Oh, so properly in
Yeah.
class.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We were both at an acting class.
Yeah.
Run by Gregory Berger Sobek. He's an acting coach out of Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Extraordinaire. I love him.
It's great.
Um, yeah, we had some good times. We did some scenes together, and yeah, we kept in touch ever since. And I'm honestly very grateful for you, Ashley. You inspire me a lot, and you are so much fun. You're a wonderful person, and you're a good friend too. You're always there when I'm going through a crisis. You both are. You're both great.
Yeah.
But who is Ashley? I know you to a certain extent. Colin knows you a little bit now, but the world may or may not. So
The world
who
will
is
never
she?
know.
Yeah.
Ashley hails from the Midwest, the good state of Ohio, which usually gets made fun of in a lot of TV and films for being weird, which tracks, but, from the Midwest.
Wait, why? Why?
I don't know, it's always the butt of the joke of, like, "Oh, she's from some weird state like Ohio," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm from
You're
there."
right. It is.
They
Yeah.
do, it's like I'm defending all the Ohioans out there. Actually, when I was younger, I I'll have to fact check this with my mom, but I'm pretty sure, about 80% sure, I was going to go
Did you
to
say 80% true?
80, yeah, I'm not sure, I have to fact check. During this call, I'll just ask my mom, and later I'll clarify if I'm incorrect.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, "Hey,
Please come back
guys,
to us. Yeah.
so edit that part out." No,
No
Yeah.
chance.
I'm gonna ask her while we're
No, we
speaking.
can.
She's awake, she's in Ohio, guys, don't worry. I had a chance to go to this performing arts, like, middle school, but we moved out of the school district, and so I ended up going to a different school, so I feel like performing has always been a part of my life throughout different moments, but again, like, I it's so fascinating living in LA, I just it feels so much more obtainable, where I feel like in Ohio, no one you do, but you're not like, "I'm gonna be an actor." Everyone's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
college and go be a doctor. Do something real with your life." Like, it's something that kind of feels like a passion more so than something you can actually pursue. So I
Mm.
did theater in high school, I was in drama club, and I did the musicals, I was in choir, audition choir, I loved performing. But again, it was, like, back of mind, it was something I enjoyed doing, it was not something I was going to do. And then I went to college, and I was pursuing at the time, I wanted to pursue psychology because I really liked, I still do, I love why people do what they do, but I was I was gonna be a psychologist for the criminally insane because I found that to be really
Whoa.
fascinating. Yeah. Then I realized how much school you have to do, and I said, "Never mind." Um,
Yeah.
and I was minoring in Spanish at the time, and so I was kind of feeling lost. I was like, again, acting was in the back of my mind. So I took an acting for non-majors class because I wasn't pursuing it
Yeah.
on a collegiate level, and I was like, wait a minute, this was fun. And so it kind of spiraled from there. I started to keep taking I changed my minor to theater, which
Okay.
I feel like I just got, like, the basics of a theatrical, degree in a minor sense, and then I started we have, like, a Cleveland Film Commission in Ohio, and a friend was like this girl I worked with was like, "Oh my gosh, I know somebody. You should go, like, with them, and they can show you the ropes." And I was like, "Okay." Super green, super young, like like 20 or something. And yes, I went to the Cleveland Film Commission. I, like, learned this is so long-winded. Anyways, I just learned, like, the ropes. I started doing background work. That's how my entrance to acting was through background work 'cause I didn't know set etiquette,
Oh,
and I didn't even know how to audition for anything, so I was like, "I'm gonna just learn the basics." I would just be on set, which taught me, like, what different terminology meant and how to like, just the etiquette. And then from there, I was a stand-in because I was like, "Now I know how to do that." So I literally climbed the stairs, the ladders, like, step by step, and I was a stand-in, and I got to learn how to take direction from the director because, you're standing in for the actor, and so, like,
right.
basically, he would direct things, and then I'd either relay it to the actor or, the director would. And so, like, I was like, "Cool, now I know how to take direction," and then from there, I was, like, kind of auditioning for small things. I was, like, taking some classes, and once I felt like that's Mochi, if you can hear her.
Hello,
Let the
Mochi.
dogs out.
She's sharing her side of her acting. Yes, Mochi, you did book
I
that. You
thought
were
she was gonna finish off the song then.
She kinda did. She said that she's
Yeah.
also an actress, and I should have mentioned her earlier. But yeah, so then
She
I, like
is.
once I got to where I couldn't go anymore, I'm packed up and moved to LA, and this is the only place I've ever lived, and I've pursued it. Very green when I moved
Wow.
here, but, that's still
So
long-winded, so I'm gonna wrap it up in case there's any questions.
we just met that Ashley from Akron, Ohio. So all of that was before the LA move?
Yeah, so, like,
Wow.
LA became a forefront dream later. So I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
let me make sure I have maximized my experience here before I go to the mecca of
Mm,
what I'm doing," like, which I wasn't, but, as much as I could be before
Yeah.
kind of like I hit the glass ceiling, like, this is as far as I can go here in the Midwest. So if I really wanna
wow.
pursue this seriously, I need to move to a place where I can continue to expand and grow and get the opportunities I
Yeah.
want to do.
That's a very wise approach.
Yeah.
Tommy told me that
Wow.
about you when he described you. He said that you were wise, and I'm always
Did.
curious as to how that translates, and you just showed up. That whole description of your story was just full of wisdom of how to apprentice your way through to the dream or to your goal. That's amazing.
Guys, this is so nice.
We
You
can
know
be nice.
for now, we're just getting started. And, I
Yeah.
actually when I moved to LA, I took, like, I think it was a week course, 2-week course at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. It's no longer there in LA, unfortunately. But I spoke to some kids, like, 2 years ago. It's so funny because I remember so many things when I first moved here, so many truths that weren't true. I told them, "You don't need to rush to become a SAG member. I was very much in the mindset, like, get as much as you can while you can. You're not paying SAG dues, don't pay SAG dues. There's a lot of especially when you're newer, there's so much work for non-union actors where you can learn the
Uh,
ropes and still make money. You know what I mean? Without having to rush, like, everyone's like, "You need to become SAG right away." I'm like, "You don't, because if you don't have the
Really?
experience, you sit in the union and you don't work.
Yeah.
That's such a waste of your expertise and what you know, and, like, instead of, again, climbing the ranks, I told them, like, "If you're not from here, sign up with your local agents in your home states. You can work as a local hire." I still have my agency from Ohio, and a lot of my big credits are from Ohio. So
Wow.
okay.
"Stay don't feel like you have to rush out," and, like, it's tough getting agents here. Get one at home,
Yeah.
especially if you're from, like, New Mexico or anywhere that has productions, like, adjacent or like, close to where you live. What a
Yeah.
way to maximize where you're from, and you can go home and stay with your parents and drive to set. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different avenues where when I first moved here, it was like, "Here's the guide on getting the best agents to LA. Here's the guide on booking the best projects." And you read all these books and you take from all these teachers, you pay all this money, and it's like, there's no sure way in. You gotta fuck around and
Yeah.
find out.
Dude, that's the
I
quote right there. There's no sure way
yeah.
in.
No, there's not, and I used to
That's
think that when I moved here.
It's so interesting, like, coming from you you've actually lived the experience now, and I can only imagine that someone rocking up to LA for the first time with very little experience, or some experience, is going to be plunging straight into the chaos and in the mindset of, "I have to do as much as possible, as quickly as possible," and that can be very overwhelming. So
Mhm.
to hear that actually, you don't necessarily need to do it like that. There's other
Mhm.
ways. That's class.
Yeah, not just other ways, but from me, the way I hear this, Ashley, this sounds like someone who's been baptized by fire with experience, the experiential knowledge to say, hey, look, if you do it this way, here are your pro cons. If you do it this way, here are your pro cons. And you can really guide someone effectively who maybe is in a position where they go, oh, I ran into debt trying to pay for my SAG dues or pay for this version of an acting course when really I could have done this. This is really our show is really you just, like, boiled it down in that one little description of your experience of, like, what this show is about, Truly Becoming.
Yeah.
It's about if someone is listening, hopefully they get to hear what you just said and go, "Oh, you know what? I was thinking about doing it the exact way she said I might not be the best path for me, so maybe I should explore avenue X, Y, and Z." So that's so cool.
And you know
Yeah.
what, Ashley? Talking of people listening to how to do it, quote unquote, you've actually I feel very reassured right now because how you like started off in Ohio. Because I've been back in London for a bit over a year now, and I just immersed myself fully in the local scene here in London, thinking about, oh, when's the big American chance gonna come up? And so yeah, it's just quite comforting.
Yeah, I mean, and but also I say that to say that, like, it could work for you could come here and book, you know what I mean? I think that
Yeah.
there's so many different ways you have to I think for me, what I was trying to debunk was that there was just one sure way in,
Mm,
and,
Mm.
that's just
yeah.
not there's so many ways in, and that's something I told the kids too
Yeah.
in class. I was
Oh,
like, "Take care of yourself first. If you have to work to pay your bills, please do that first because what you
yeah.
Yeah.
cannot do is show up for yourself professionally if you cannot show up for yourself, your actual self, your human self. You cannot show up for the crap if you cannot show up for your human self first. If you are struggling to pay your bills and now you're paying for class and now you can't afford to pay for this, you're not gonna be able to focus in class. Yes, you're taking acting class. That's awesome. But now you're stressed about your rent, you're stressed about your car, you're
Yeah.
stressed about gas. And now that
Right.
energy and mental capacity you would have for the craft is now being stripped away because you're worrying about how you're gonna take care of yourself. It's like how was it, Haslow's hierarchy of needs? I realized how
Mhm.
actually important that is, like, you have to take care of that stuff before you have the mental capacity to even focus on things that you wanna pursue. Unless you're just
No
a
question.
superhuman and you can do that. Personally, I couldn't.
We'll get to Superman shortly. Um,
See what I
A
did there?
Actually, your wisdom of, like, not putting yourself under that pressure, was there, like, a big moment for you where you found that out, so to say, where you were like, "Why am I" is this a lived experience to you? Like, "Why am I doing
Oh,
this?"
of
And then
course. Sorry,
when
go
did
ahead.
that happen? Yeah,
When I
no, when
first
did that
moved
happen?
here, I because again, I'm from Ohio, I've never lived anywhere else. It wasn't like I came from another big city and then moved here. I was very, green, and I was very
Yeah.
just West my mindset. I'm trying to be kind. So I had drive, and I don't wanna, like, deter people from their drive. I had that drive, and it's
Mm,
something that I
Yeah.
think you need, drive stamina in this industry. It was just misguided for me because I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to LA. I'm gonna take from all the best teachers. I'm gonna do all of these things." But I didn't have
yeah,
a lot of money. And I
right.
was working again, I had to adjust to the financial differences. In Ohio, I think I was paying like $400 a month for rent. Here, I was paying double that, plus
Yeah.
all my utilities. And I was like, I still have my same mentality from Ohio, like how my way of living. That just
Yeah.
wasn't feasible here. So it like was exhausting my funds very quickly. So I know for a fact I was like, okay, I'm working two jobs, but I'm going to this acting class, and I had the drive. I did, but I also eventually got burnt out. It worked for a little bit, I will say. Like when I was a lot younger, it worked really
Yeah.
well, kind of. because I was
Yeah.
like, I had no care in the world and I kept my costs to a minimum as much as I could. But like as I
Yeah.
continued to expand, I just felt like, I mean, Tom, even when we were in class, I was
Yeah.
like not working a lot. So it's so interesting to hear you say like, "Oh my gosh, you were such a fun partner," because I just felt like I was like flubber because I was so like just trying to survive LA at that point that I didn't really have the capacity, I felt like, to show up for my
Yeah.
partner, to show up for myself in my craft, and I felt like my craft suffered because I just didn't have the mental capacity to do it. So again, I say all of this with, like, a grain of salt, like, if you have that drive and you're like, "I'll figure it out when I figure it out," do that. I'm just saying
Mhm.
if it comes to a point where you are struggling financially, acting is not going anywhere. There's always gonna be acting classes. It behooves me to let people
Yeah.
know, to tell them to take care of yourself first, because if not, it'll start to mess you up. You'll get so much stress and anxiety. It's like, yeah, you're taking acting class, you're pursuing your career, but also your mental health is suffering. Your physical health is suffering. Your relationships are
Balance.
suffering. Yeah, because you're
Oh,
at
yes.
some point, yes, you do need to make sacrifices, but you need to really sit down with yourself and see which ones make sense in this moment in your life.
Yeah, I feel
Absolutely.
that.
I share that
Actually,
struggle.
is there like 100 people coming in and out of wherever you are?
Did you hear that?
Yeah. We'll cut all of this
No,
part out.
no, I loved it. It was raw. Let's bring more of that to the show.
More movement in the
We
background?
wa
More go.
was Mochi, does she walk on her hind legs, sprinting up and down
It was like
stairs and zipping up her
my boyfriend
pants
was
and
no, my boyfriend was letting me know that Mochi ate or she's gonna flip out, like, she can't. Dogs are such on a routine, like, she'll start tiptoeing nearby and just start whining and, like, he was just letting me know that he fed her because 'cause she'll, like, get pissed, especially if she hears me in here, like, yapping my yapper. Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
What kinda dog is she?
Well, we thought she was a Border Collie Rhodesian Ridgeback, but she's a
Ooh.
rescue from Guam. My brother was in the Navy, so she's a Guam village
Oh,
dog, Labrador Retriever,
wow.
Golden Retriever, and, I forgot what the last one is. She's perfect.
Does she s does she speak English?
She has an accent. She too
You bring
is
her
a wolf
on.
color. Oh, I'm gonna go grab her. Hold on 1 second. As the swap boat is coming.
You should just put the headphones on Mochi and stick her on the camera.
Oh, wait.
Ooh, we are going for the dog.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, I can't see you.
Okay.
Can you see her, Ashley Collin?
No, mate, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay. You're paying close attention.
Oh, yeah. I don't miss
Can
too
you
many
see
details.
us?
Can you guys see me now? I've showed up. That sucks. I was trying to do a whole,
Y
like,
you're
review.
you're just a blinky, circle, which is cool.
What about now?
Can you see
Wait.
Now.
yourself?
Yeah.
Something just happened, but it's still not come on.
Do you see me?
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
we see you.
I'm
I
in
love that
my
color,
cozies. I'm in my
the green.
cozies.
So like a teal
Yes.
color.
Yeah, right? My little bonnet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
You
Good to see
relax.
you.
I'm so relaxed.
Good, good.
We can
You're
see
so
Mochi
relaxed, you're
too.
half asleep.
No, my body's used to being up now for work, so now my body's like, "Yeah, right."
Okay.
To find Mochi.
There's the
There
whoop.
she is.
Oh, 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 oh.
Mochi, can you
Mochi. Ashley's got headphones on now, and we're probably destroying her ears
No,
by
you're not.
shouting and whistling.
Hi. No, you're not. Now that
Oh,
she's
she's
been
so cute.
yeah, she wanted to say hello. That's what she was yelling at
Thank
me
you.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did it. Brief
yeah, we
intermission
did
for the
it.
dog.
That's cool.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
Does she ever get to see you in your Elphaba makeup?
She'd be like
No?
I don't think she'd be freaked out.
I would love to see her face. I wanna see that reaction when you
She'd be
pop
like,
in the door.
"Oh, I can't come home green, but if I could."
Oh!
I was gonna ask you about that the other day, actually. I was thinking, does it take ages to get all of that off?
Mm-mm. Sometimes we
No?
can get it off, like, really quickly.
The
Really
green,
quick.
is it like green paint?
It's called aqua color. It's a green aqua color. And
Okay.
then we use,
We should actually probably specifically mention what the hell we're talking about because we
What are we
oh,
understand.
talking
yeah.
about? Yeah.
Working at
Do you
university.
wanna
And then we use airbrush, so it doesn't take super, super long. It's really fun. Really, really fun.
how is that like playing that character and interacting with everyone that comes your way?
You know, it's really been really fun. I was nervous when I first started because I was like, "Oh, no, I hope I can, like, live up to, like, how Cynthia makes me feel." I hope I can bring
Yeah.
that experience to other people. But it's fun.
Yeah.
I really, really, really enjoy it.
I mean, you tell me like what the core difference is, right? You get cast in a film, you have to do your preparation
Mhm.
to understand your character and then show up and do your thing versus essentially living in it in the real world
Right,
Mm.
for an extended period of time,
right.
completely improvising, I imagine, because you're interacting with people that are just, just there for fun or whatever.
Yeah. It's more I would liken it, I guess, a little bit more to theater because this I mean, she's the
Mhm.
longest character I've ever been able to portray because, like, go back to the park and we do it. But yeah, I mean, you're just creating this experience, but as the character. So it's, like, weird because people have these emotions. I have to remember it's not me. I'm just personifying this person that the people resonate with so much.
And you stay in character
Mhm.
while in makeup, in costume as Elphaba, and what does that feel like for? Because it's hours, right? It's like a full
Mhm.
day of
Mhm.
that, and then repeat, repeat?
Yeah. It's cool because I've never really understood what people meant, like, "Oh, once I put on the costume, I'm there." And,
Oh.
Mm.
once I put on the costume, I'm there. Like, I can like, when we have rehearsals sometimes, I'm like, "Oh, I don't feel it." I'm like, "But if I had the costume on and the hair and stuff, it just you just feel."
Oh.
Honestly, like, her clothing, like, there's a little bit of weight to it because Elphaba's really
It
grounded.
looks heavy.
Yeah, she's grounded. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not awful, but, like, I think that heaviness helps allow me to be more grounded, literally as a character.
Mhm.
So then I can then use that in acting moving forward. If I have a character that's really grounded, I'm like, "Give me some heavy clothes." So I feel, like, really actually grounded to the earth because
Very
Elphaba is
Sure.
very
helpful.
grounded to the earth,
Yeah,
even though she
okay.
defies gravity. Chicka-pow.
This isn't just like a job because the stakes, the status is really high. You're playing an elite level character that millions and millions and millions around the world who respect, and the stakes are high, right? Because it has to be super believable as part of the experience of arguably one of the best theme parks in the world. It's not like a job where you can just break character and just like scratch your face or like just be like, "Hey, what are you getting? Can you grab me a coffee?" This is
Yeah.
like, you're in the movie essentially, and any kid or adult that approaches you feels like they're in the film with you.
Yeah, it's good practice to staying in character and,
Mm.
like, when different yeah, I would say, like, I have to scream sometimes before I'm Elphaba because I'm so frenetic.
Yeah.
She's just not. So I have to, like, release my crazy so that I can be more
Oh,
grounded into her. I just have to, like, let
Amazing.
sound out because she's just so much more reserved and,
yeah, right. She's
uh
more stoic, yeah?
yeah, well, kind of. She is, but she has so many different colors, and I feel like it's so easy to just play into the one side of her. I remember someone telling me, like, Elphaba is she's, like, for the introverted people. I remember I would be so it was so hard for me to articulate. It's like, "I wanna be more like la 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 la," but I remember, like, Elphaba is that person that people who are introverted look up to or admire or resonate
Oh,
with.
man.
And I remember I was
Okay.
working a party, and I'm not sure about how much work stuff I'm allowed to talk about, but I can talk about this party. I was working a party, and these 2 little girls would not leave my side. I was holding their hand the whole night, and at the end of the night, we were just standing, and I realized that Elphaba is, like, the safe person if people feel like
Mm.
a lot of energy or just wanna, like, be more introverted. She
Yeah.
exudes that, and I was like, "Oh, I see." Like, all this time, like, Elphaba is that person, like, if you just need to be like, "I'm, like, feeling here," and you're like, "I just need to be here." You know what I mean? Like, she
Yeah,
she just kind of
right.
brings that energy, and so I would do that in my Elphaba. Once that girl told me, she's like, "Yeah, you're like me, and, I'm introverted," and I was like, "Yeah, that's exactly." She's not
Yeah.
necessarily stoic, she's just
Okay.
introverted, and she's protective. But you see her laugh, you see her have joy, you see her
Yeah.
advocate, you see that stoicism comes out of necessity of protection because she has been alienated and othered. And I think, yeah, so I feel like people resonate with
You
that of feeling othered and like seeing Elphaba. They're like,
Mhm.
yes, you advocate for anyone that feels othered, or you advocate for the animals, or you advocate for, like, XYZ, and that's why I resonate with you. Yes, we love Glinda, she's big and vivacious, but I personally am not that. I am introverted, I stay at home, I I say to myself, I advocate, you know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, there's someone for every person. There's Elphaba, there's Glinda, and there's Alpha Glinda, there's Glindafabas, who are both
Lovely.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
just
thank you for that.
sold me Wicked. I'm gonna go watch it now.
You've
I've never
never
seen
seen
it.
it, Tom?
What?
No,
Tommy, where have you
no.
been?
I feel like you should
In this
see
studio, man, I'm trying to break out.
if it ever goes to London, you should see the Broadway performance as well.
Yeah, it is in London. I see it everywhere on, like, the billboards and
You
stuff.
should
I
go see it. I mean,
really
we're only based at
okay,
the theme park, we're only based off the movie. There are some differences, but
yeah.
Ah,
Wow.
okay.
I mean, they're actually building, Universal Studios
I
here in the
saw that.
UK,
I saw
in
that.
my hometown. Yeah.
I saw
So,
that. Mhm.
maybe I could,
Yeah.
apply for her character and
You'd
Y
be
y
great,
you could
Tom.
be the
rival you.
You could be you could
Cowardly
be
Lion, you've
Who
got all
yeah.
sorts of roles you could play.
who would Colin and I play based on your first impressions of Colin and how you know me?
Oh my gosh, this is tough.
I don't know any of these characters though.
There's not a lot of I mean, neither one of you are the wizard, thankfully.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Play other
I don't feel
other,
like based off your personality or based off what you could play?
whatever.
All the men in Wicked kinda suck,
So one of those
except for
then.
Fiero. So,
Mm,
Which character?
alright.
Fiero.
Okay.
Fiero.
I would say I feel like you both would just have to be Fiero. I mean, I don't love Bach.
What about outside of Wicked in any, it's not Disney, is it?
No.
What?
Don't
You
know
mean
what I'm talking about.
In Oz, period?
Outside beyond the realms of Oz, out of
Oh.
all the characters that you see,
Oh my god, am I casting you guys right now? Okay.
Yeah.
like, in the Universal makeup.
Oh, at Universal. Oh
Yes!
my gosh. Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I feel like Colin,
Yeah, that one.
you would be you'd be Freddy from Scooby-Doo. You'd be a fun Freddy
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
wait, is
he's,
that
like,
the one that
fun and
goes, "Scooby?
spunky and cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooby!"
I feel like
Solving crimes.
yeah, Colin, yes, and then Tom, you'd be I won't say that. I won't say
No,
that.
say it.
I was like,
Say
"You
it.
could be a conductor at Harry Potter." I'm just kidding. You could be like no, train conductor, train conductor.
Oh, a train
You
conductor,
welcome
okay.
everybody to
Oh my god.
Hogwarts. Yeah,
He could play he could play
it's very
grown-up Harry.
English. We don't have Harry in the parks at uni in
Actually,
ho
Oh, I get Malfoy all the time.
yeah, you could get Draco. We don't have a Draco either, but I feel like I could see you doing that, or I could see you being I'm, like, going through all the different characters in my head so freaking fast. I feel like you'd be a fun Dracula.
oh, I'd love to
Oh,
play
yeah, Dracula.
Dracula.
I absolutely
See?
loved Universal Horror Nights.
You could
Wow.
be yeah,
I
Dracula.
love that.
Colin, you're gonna
Yeah,
be Freddy, or Colin, you could also
Yeah.
be Doc Brown. So that's your guys' casting. Thank you.
Nice.
and
Doc
maybe
Brown.
we could be in the
I love
same
science.
episode where he's trying to figure out the Dracula that's haunting Scooby-Doo.
Correct.
I
It's a
I go to
mashup.
Transylvania. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ash, if you can remember the first moment where acting for you stopped feeling like a hobby, like just loving the performance, but actually it was more than that. It was something you couldn't ignore, where you kind of had that moment where you're like, this, nothing else is
Oh, wow. I would
like, was
say
that an Ohio thing, a LA
yeah.
thing?
Yeah, I think it was an Ohio thing. It was even before I
Wow.
started auditioning for, like, bigger roles on camera. I feel like yeah, I feel like that inclination is what kind of fueled me to move. I was like, "No, I love doing this. I don't know how I'm gonna figure it out because 'cause I'm not to reach," but I was like, "I will figure it out." I remember at the time I just broken up with my then boyfriend, and I was like,
Good riddance.
if I don't move now, I ain't moving." You know what I mean? It was like our
Oh,
lease was
yeah.
up, we had broken up, I had graduated college, it was like the closing of chapters for a lot of different things, and I was like, this is the time period. I was like, if I stay another year, I don't know. It's gonna be one of those things where like, I'll leave next year. I'll leave next year. I was really nervous, but I was like, I wanna do this. I remember I like sometimes look at old conversations from that time period, and I was like, oh, I feel like sometimes you have such a different narrative of an experience, and you had to go back
Yeah.
and like look at that narrative and be like, oh no, I
Can
was like ready. I was like driven. 'Cause
Well, what was it like moving Go on, sorry.
scary. No, it's like it's so s
Yeah.
I feel like I had so much well, I've lived so many different lives since then, so it's hard for me to remember that narrative of
Mhm.
myself back then, but I was fucking ready. Like, I was so excited and, like, I'm not jaded or anything now, but I again, I had that drive. I was like, "Okay, this is me, Imma have to work all these jobs, but, like, I'm in LA." And, again, through my stand-in job is how I was able to even get my first manager, was because the director's assistant at the time was like, "Hey, you should come to the screening. There's gonna be the director's wife's the manager. She might like you." And I was like and, like, um I went
So
and
this was last week?
this was yesterday, and yeah, and so I did it, and I actually did sign with my first manager because of a job I did in Ohio, a stand-in job. So you just I'm always like,
That's
don't like, you never know where your opportunities are gonna come from. Say yes to things
Mhm.
that make sense. Pardon, say yes to everything. Say yes to things that make sense.
Yeah,
Say yes
I
to things
More
like
that make
that.
wisdom.
sense. Yeah, it's like so that for me and then I came here and I remember I was so excited. I had no fear of going into, like back then we went into the room, which I loved. I would go into the room, I'm like, And I remember I auditioned and I had a casting director so very kindly. Now I think, I could be wrong. He was like, he did my audition, green, and he was like, "Where you from?" And I was like, "Ohio." He's like, "When did you move here?" And it's like, "Very" like, I was like, "A week ago." And he's like, "Okay." I don't know if he was saying like, "Oh, she's just very, very green. She's very new." I think his kind way of being like, "Oh," because I don't know that I had the skills at the time to actually perform at the level I performed at the level I was, because I hadn't had a lot of experience of me being on camera, because I always did a lot of the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, and then I was also, like, not quite sure how to, like, break down scripts and do all that stuff just yet, so of,
I like how you said that. Perform
impulse.
the way I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I performed the way it was. I think it's so easy to be hard on ourselves, like, "Oh my god, that was awful." You performed the way you were at that time. That's the skill set that you had at that time. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Because at that time, you were like, "I feel pretty good." You know what I mean? Like, of course, we
Yeah.
evolve, we grow, we get
Right.
better, but that's just any
Mm.
craft. That's anything, any skill we put time to, we gain more experience, so we don't wanna negate where we were because that's how we are to get to where we
Mhm.
are going, so that's the skill set I had back then. Even watching old auditions, I have grace with myself. I'm like, back then I was like, "Oh, I'm killing these auditions." You know what I mean? But that's the skill set I had back
Yeah.
then and the level of experience. So, like, back then I was killing it to myself, and I don't wanna, like, strip away those experiences I had either. But I was definitely green, and I had the drive, and I was just going into rooms, and sometimes I hit on the nail, and sometimes I definitely did not.
What would you tell her now if you could?
That Ashley?
Mm.
I would tell her, like, to bring back that sense. I just really didn't care. I was like, "Yeah, this is what I'm gonna bring." Now I feel like I'm
Good.
so judgmental sometimes that it
But, like,
blocks
well thought through.
I'm more like, "Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Maybe don't do that."
Oh.
Where back then I was super impulsive. I was like, "Imma do this. Imma do this. I'm gonna try this." I had no, sense of judgment of my work back then because I was just
I
like
see.
I think there's something beautiful about being green because there's no judgment there, because you haven't, like there's a beautiful place where you're just like, "Yeah, Imma try that. Okay, I don't care if it's
Yeah.
wrong, Imma try that. That
Right.
sounds fun. I'm gonna try that. Oh, I'm gonna audition for this," because there's just this, like it's everything is new, and, like, after you've done it for a long time, you're like, "Maybe I should try it like this." I don't know if
I
I'm
like that
articulating
one.
it right,
I
but,
like
like,
that
that's a good
one.
take, right?
That was powerful.
So now I'm trying to get back to that place of the freedom I gave myself when I was
Yeah.
still
Okay.
growing.
That's some beautiful advice. I sit with my kids I mentioned earlier. My kid's got underwear on her head, her shorts
Yes.
are on backwards. She impulsive, just reactively is performing the way that she wants to, and it's, from the audience, I'm like, that's it. That's the most incredible performance. Not ever would I judge her, you need to flip your hip a little more, you need to drop your tone or whatever it might be in terms of guidance. So, I mean, yeah, we champion this in kids. Why shouldn't we fast push this forward as adults?
'Cause we, like, lose it. You think about it, you would never tell your daughter, "The superhero doesn't wear panties on her head." You know what I mean? You would never, like, say that to her.
Oh, that'd be
No,
It
heartbreaking.
would, but, like
she
Yeah.
but
puts
we
on
would do
her,
that
yeah,
now. We'd be like, "Oh, the
yes,
superhero would never do that." But when you're a
yeah,
kid, of course they would. Why wouldn't they do that? That sounds so
Yeah.
fun. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of where I'm trying to
you're
get back
right,
to.
man.
It's like being around my niece, she's 4. First of all, the things she says are wild. But
Yeah,
there's this, like there's also this sense of, like, not control, but, like, confidence that she has. "And you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna play this, and this looks like
yeah,
this, and then we're gonna do this, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, you ready?" And
Director.
you yes, well, the thing is, like, it's not like, "Oh, I
they
think
know what they want.
yeah, I think
Yeah,
I might no, I don't wanna play that. That sounds like it might not work out. It never doesn't work out. It always even if it doesn't work out, it works out. You know what I mean? Like, it makes sense.
Yep.
Like,
exactly, it
they
works
make
out.
sense of, like, their exploration, like, okay, something's we play kitchen restaurant a lot. She likes to cook, and I'm always like, "I come here a lot, ma'am, and I feel like the food is always running very late. I order my spaghetti, and it takes a really long time." She goes, "Oh, okay, okay." And she'll go like, "I'm sorry." And she'll go like, bring my spaghetti, and I'm like, "Thank you." I was like, "But I did also order a cup of coffee." "Oh, okay." It's never it's never like, "Oh, no." And I
A
remember at my
failure.
friend's house too,
Yeah.
like, their daughter, I was pretending like she was a server, and she would come over, and I'd like, "Yes, what are your specials today?" And she'd be like, "Oh, it is spaghetti with chocolate ice cream." And, I was like, "Oh, that sounds delicious. I'll definitely take one of those. Do you have any beverages?" "Oh, yes. It is chocolate smoothie, coffee." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds delicious." And it was like and they were like, "She's never done that before." I'm like, "I'm just" and then she would keep coming back and be different things at the restaurant. And it was never like I think that's so beautiful. I was like, "You don't put that in coffee." So it allows her
Yeah,
to be more imaginative because I'm not
right.
denying her fantasy, and I feel like somewhere along the lines, people have denied our fantasies, so we kind of live more in reality, and I think with acting, we have to play tote both lines. We have to live in the imaginary and also the reality at sometimes. Both have to
Yeah.
exist. So, like, I feel
At
like
the same
being around
time.
children
Mm.
again and listening to, like, their imagination and being like, "Oh, wow, yeah, I used to do that. I used to play my Barbies," and, like, it'd be so much
Mhm.
trauma and I would never be like, "Whoa, that would never happen in real life." I'm like, "Ooh, today was
Right.
wild. A lot of drama in Barbie world."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Y
Well,
yeah.
y
yeah,
yeah.
it just goes to show how usage of the imagination as an adult can set you up for huge success, not just in acting, but also, like, do you ever I'm thinking of the movie The Menu now, but do you ever sometimes you see, like, those really high-end restaurants that have, like, the most insane menu imaginable. Like, I could totally see some super deluxe chocolate ice cream with spaghetti in some sort of, like, high-end dessert on a tiny little plate, and it's like, that chef has an imagination, and,
True,
they're charging $30 a plate for that.
true,
Yeah, it's
Never give
it's
up,
so
kids.
beautiful.
Wow.
true.
Actually, was there, like, a moment in your career where it got hard and quiet, and you're wondering,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Is
No,
this even working?" No, never.
never.
Not this girl.
Like,
Not this girl, not
what
this Barbie girl.
what was that moment like for you, and what was the light at the end of that
Oh
tunnel?
my
Like,
god.
what kept you going?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I worked pandemic. I worked on a Tyler Perry show, and I remember again, I was working
Wow.
at let me go back. The words, brain. I was at the time I was working at a restaurant
Yeah.
and excuse me, I was interning for this casting office because I wanted to see what casting people did. And I was at work and I had auditioned for this show in person, I say again. And I got the call at my internship. Whenever my agent and manager call me, I'm like, "Uh-oh, what are we doing?" And I booked it, and I remember I was just so ecstatic. I was like, "I booked a show. I thought it was just 1 episode. I was like, "I'll take it." And come to find out, it was like 10 or 12 episodes. It was my first recurring guest star. I think that's what it was billed.
Which show was this?
Ruthless. It was Tyler Perry's Ruthless.
Oh, yes.
I think it
Yes.
was
Yeah.
billed as that. And so, basically, I worked the show, and I made really good money. And so, I was like, "Ooh, I like this. Ooh." And, that on top of, like, I was also doing commercials and stuff at the time too, so I was making really good money. And then the pandemic happened. I still worked at because Tyler Perry had us all still work on the next season, but we were all on the plantation, the land that he bought. None of us could leave, so we're kind of like, not isolated there, I can't think of the right word, but we all were there together filming. And so
Yeah.
I worked,
Locked in.
yeah, during the pandemic. So then, you know, the pandemic happened, all the strikes happened, the fires happened. The industry was kind of figuring itself out, but my mentality was like, "I'm working." So, like, I was, like, spending all this money and living my life, like, when I had a lot of money and what and opportunities were coming in.
Yeah.
And
Life goes on.
honestly, yeah, it was last year, I was like, "What am I doing?" You know, because like, things have changed so much where, like, A-list celebrities are now on all these TV shows, so they're taking all the series regulars, so people who are series regulars are
Yeah.
taking the guest stars, people are taking guest stars, so, like, there's, like it's hard to kind of
Yeah.
get into those spaces that were once a lot more accessible, and so a lot more
Yeah.
opportunities were there. There aren't as many opportunities at this moment, and I was like, "I don't have a lot of money anymore. I'm not working as much as I was." I was, like, in kind of a false reality. I was like, "Wait, what's actually happening right now? I'm not working as much as
Yeah.
I was." And that's actually why I applied to work at Universal. I was like, "I need
Yeah.
to work. I need to get a job." And I haven't had a day job since pre-pandemic. So I was, like, nervous about that. I was used to my freedom,
Mm.
and I was like, "I don't want a job to take away my freedom." And this is like, again, this is me now. This is like kind of having the same conversations I had back then. But I realized my job afforded me freedom, my financial freedom. I was like idle because I didn't know what to do with my time. And I was like, it afforded me some, like having a job. Grateful that my job also was something that was adjacent or in line with acting. But like having a job was really helpful for me to really get grounded again and get
Yeah.
stamina again. Because like, there were days I was tired. I still had to show up. There are days I had a bad day,
Mm.
still had to show up. So it gave me that stamina back, and I feel so I mean, I just stopped on Sunday, so I feel so reinvigorated now to be like, "Okay, I know what it feels like again to work a job, to have that stamina,
Yeah.
to have that drive." I felt like my drive was kind of, like, depleting a little bit because it was so far and few, so flippant, the opportunities of acting, so I was like, I didn't know what to do with myself. So, yeah,
Wow.
literally this year, today, I'm like, "Oh, I have that drive." Again, I was taking care of myself because then what was happening when I didn't have a lot of money, i.e., when we were in class, I was stressed all the time. I was like, "I can't show up." I had
Yep.
anxiety. I was like, "I just wanna sleep. I don't wanna spending all this extra money for class. I can't afford that class right now. Why am I doing that? I have to pay this debt off. I need to pay my rent." And so I was like in this cyclical kind of like spiral, downward spiral where now I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh. Remember what you did years ago? You focus on working, take care of yourself."
Wow.
And that it's like it literally so every so often I go through this though. I think it's just me still learning the same lesson. It's like, "Oh yeah, take a break." I'm not taking a break, but work. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, "Oh yeah." Now I get auditions like, "Let's go, baby." Instead of being like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I have the energy to do this. I don't know. I have so much
Wow.
anxiety to do this." Now I'm like, "Let's do it." I got the mojo back.
You know,
Austin Powers.
I love that you just said all of that because if you recall, Ashley, when I called you, and one of the major reasons why I wanted to bring you onto this show early doors is because it was like what late last summer when I called you when I was in a bit of a rough patch of funk, and you gave me like you were just like, look, you know, you're gonna get booked for stuff, but keep yourself busy in between, like do other creative projects, try and kind of spread your wings a little bit in lots of different areas and just live your life and like enjoy your life, choose you, don't wait around for things to happen. And that, you know, that helped me massively. So I'm very grateful for that.
Oh, Tom.
And it was lovely to hear you say this. And then like after that period, loads of stuff happened, right? You had Superman.
That happened within that period.
Huge. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Superman journey.
Yeah. So
And we wanna know all about the gaming stuff as well. This
I will yap that good yapper. Um,
Yes,
but
Yap it up.
before the Superman, so
but I
basically,
might jump in with a question or 2.
you please do.
Superman, how did that land? Tell us about that
Yeah.
experience.
So just one last closing note with the
Yeah,
other things, to what you were saying when you were in your funk was also I work for a movie reaction channel, Cinehouse. Check us, we watch movies. I found that
okay.
by playing D&D and being in different I found other things make me happy. And I say this to people all the time. I love acting. It is like what I feel like I was put on this earth to do. However, I am an actor. It is not my identity. It's my job, not my identity. And so when you make it your
Mm.
identity and you don't get opportunities, you start to lose yourself. You question your
Ugh.
self-worth. So I found other things that excite. I'm like, what else do I like to do? Oh yeah, I love watching my anime. I love playing video games. I love playing D&D. I love watching movies. And I found, I'm like, how can I find ways to do this to make money or to just have a good time? Like everything we need to do needs to make money. We can also have hobbies that are things we enjoy. And
Yeah,
I second that by saying this year, I'm like, what skills do I want to learn? I want to pick up sign language and Lindy Hop and like just like finding other ways. And if that helps you with your acting career, great. If it just brings you joy, that's also awesome. So like reminding ourselves that like acting is what we do is not who we are allows you to have that separation to again go back to what I said, taking care of yourself, to pursuing things that you enjoy. There's a time where I wouldn't want to go home. I was like, I might get an audition. I wouldn't want to go on vacation. I might get an audition. And it's like, no, go home. Go see your freaking family. Go see your friends. Go on a trip. If it's meant for you, it'll be there for you when you get back. Like you
yeah,
don't need to stop your life for acting. Continue it. The best thing you can do for yourself is live your life. And then let opportunities come to you and you're like, oh yeah, like I actually just had this experience in Italy. Had you not gone to Italy, you wouldn't have been able to pull from that experience. You know what I mean? So like live your life and
yeah.
then allow
Absolutely.
acting to be work in tandem with you instead of constantly working in friction against it, trying to make it happen.
I love
Mic
that.
drop.
That's
Yeah,
profound
wha
advice.
these are wise words for any person, any
Yeah,
pursuit.
Yeah, live your
Such wisdom.
life. We live in such I'm gonna get to Superman, don't worry. We live in such a fear-based life sometimes and, like,
culture.
deficit a
Mm,
culture where we're like,
Yeah,
"If I do this, I'm gonna miss out on this," and it's like, I've missed so much time being at home because I was afraid I was going to get an audition. I'm like, "But I might
yeah,
get an audition," and sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't, and even if I did, like, I could have figured it out. I just don't want people
yeah,
to live in fear of, like, "I'm gonna miss out if I don't do this. I'm gonna miss out," and it's like,
yeah.
there's not
Thank
really
you.
missing out. Yeah, you just it'll be there for you if it's I genuinely do believe, and everyone says that, but if it's meant because you hear people do awful auditions, they book things. You hear people do great auditions, they don't book things. If it's meant
yeah,
for you, it is going to work out. You'd be like, "I was in Hawaii, and I had awful internet, and I still booked" you know what I mean? So, like, you can't stop living our lives because we're afraid of missing out. That one job is gonna make us. That one job is gonna
Yeah,
take us out of debt. That one job is gonna set up our career. 'Cause if it's meant to be there
yeah,
for you, it's gonna happen. If you're living fear-based, it's not gonna happen anyway. You gotta live in, like, you know what I mean? Live your life, so
yeah.
there's my high
Ashley,
horse on that.
I love
I
it.
need you to do my, narrate my morning meditation, if you
I
don't
would
mind.
love to.
That
Good
would be
morn
wonderful for me.
good morning, Colin. Please
And I'm
get
totally
out of
wearing,
bed.
pants on my head in my next audition.
You literally have to, only if you're a superhero. That's the thing, like,
Yeah, like, is that what you did in your
Quail
Superman
Man.
audition?
Funny enough, again, going back to feeling stressed, I got the audition, it was like a code name, and from my home agent this is from Ohio, by the way, and
Wow, so you did know it was Superman,
I did not
home
know.
agent, Ohio gig.
Yeah, I did
Got it.
not know, and I was in a hotel I forgot what I was doing, and I was so tired. I was just tired, life was just kicking my ass. Life is kicking my ass, and I did an audition, and I was like, "Okay, cool," sent it in. I get back to LA, and I know the casting director, and she was like, "Respectfully, I cannot send this in. This is not a good audition." I was like, "So, cool." She's like, you can do" basically, like, as a friend, like, doesn't look like it's professional. I was in a hotel room, I tried to find a good backdrop. It wasn't great. The lighting was all off. She's like, "I'm gonna give you some more time if you wanna retape it." And I was like, "Okay." Again, then I had anxiety. I was like, "I said a bad tape. She's gonna think, I don't care." And I was spiraling, and I was like, "Whatever." So I booked space to go tape this one, and I taped it, and the sides were really ambiguous, and I was like, "What?" It was literally the scene that you see in Superman, actually. I was like, "What's happening?" And so I auditioned for it and then later booked it. And I was like, I found out that I booked it. And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna work on this project. I don't know what this is." And then later found out that it was Superman. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?" And so
Wow.
I, like, freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." But I again, so I actually I watched again, I watched, Justice League, but Justice League has all of the superheroes in it. I'm very familiar with Superman, but
Yep.
I was like, I honestly, I used to play the Superman video game on Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So, like, that was like I was like, "Oh," and so what I did was, being the dork that I am, I did a deep dive on the DC universe after I got my script that was extremely redacted. All I had was what I was doing. Any character that I came in contact with, I created a little one sheet on them of what I thought about them, and I was like, "Okay, I don't like Lex Luthor in real life, but I have to justify why I would work for Luthor Corps." So I went through this deep
Oh,
dive as to
yeah.
why I would work for Luthor Corps. Mind you, if you work for Luthor Corps, you get really great benefits. You can live
Yeah.
in a really great location. So, and I went through this whole thing. I was like, okay, why? Again, my scene, I had like a smaller scene, but I still for myself was like, I'm still going to create like my backstory is why I work for Lex and where I come from and why I've created this thing. And it was so fun to do that. And like what my relationship is, why I don't like Superman. I did all that research. I had my little binder. So I went to set. I was like, "A little binder." Even though I don't even talk just to Lois Lane, I still had her. Even though I don't talk to Metamorpho, I still had him because you're still in the vicinity.
Yep.
And I was like, "Doo, doo, doo." It was really, really
Bravo.
fun. Yeah. I was on there for a week. And so, like, oddly enough, my actual day of dialogue was the last day, so I felt like I got a good lay of the land and got
Yeah.
acclimated.
Immersed.
Yeah,
Yes.
really quickly, and because we were in the same location, and I got to
Feeling it.
see how James directs, and, I'm like, sometimes I might get a little nervous something, but one thing I can always rely on is I take direction very well. So at the end of the day, I
You
rely
do.
on my direction because I can bring all these fantastic ideas, but I'm getting directed by a director. And with that,
Yes.
Tom is leaving. No,
He's got a director call.
he's got a director
He'll be back.
session. And I was like, "Okay, cool." If I but by the last day, I wasn't nervous. I wanted to make sure I didn't put that pressure on myself to be like, "And perform for James Gunn." You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
Guys,
was like,
guys, I'm so sorry. I have to go. There's someone else who's booked the studio. That sucks.
"Oh, no."
Oh, I'm so devastated.
Can you do it in your car?
Yeah, we can
Mm-mm.
keep going.
You guys can keep going.
Oh,
Yeah. We'd
Tom.
have
Okay,
I don't know where I'm
to
gonna go. Yeah, I've gotta go. You guys keep going.
okay.
Wrap it up.
Do you have a
Yes.
do you have a phone with
May when
Yes,
headphones?
you
I do. I could jump on potentially. I
Yeah.
can jump on. Stay on. Stay
Okay.
on.
you just can't close
Oh, yeah,
this.
because 'cause I'm doing the bloody recording. Ah, I have to go. I'm so
Do you wanna
sorry.
pause it and then
Uh,
we can reopen it?
Colin,
Yeah.
send Ashley another one. Send me another
Okay.
one. I'll jump back on.
Okay. Oh, no, Tom. I didn't know Tom was at a
He's at a studio. He properly sets himself up. It's like how you described Elphaba's costume. For
Mhm.
him, the studio is his weight. It's his groundedness. So
Mm.
this will be a good stretch for him to jump on the phone, see
Good.
how it
Let's see
feels.
him. We gotta throw him for a curveball every once in a while.
I'm so pleased about this. I'm gonna give you some backstory. I read comic books every night. Comic books were they were like one of my first safe havens, a
Mm,
place I would escape to. And then as a young person trying to figure it out and dealing with life and older people in my household, it was like something to aspire to. I'm like, look at these characters and their struggle, but they got their costumes and they've got their powers
The
and
show
they've got
goes
their
on.
stories. Yeah, yeah, mate. That hasn't stopped. Like I said,
yeah.
I read comics every night. I've seen all the animated stuff, all the movies, and I draw all the characters. I was just drawing a Wonder Woman recently. There's a Wonder Woman comic series where she is going up against Mouse Man. It's really bizarre. Like Mouse Man has his own like island. He's like a Hitler-like character, and she goes there with her daughter. And it's great art, and the story is so weird,
Oh, yeah.
but also really good, right? Like I don't know, like, it's hard to really explain that one, but the art is phenomenal. So I'm like trying to put her on paper,
Oh,
draw her out.
yeah. Yeah, I think I know some people are superhero fatigued from the movies, but
Yeah.
I love them. My first introduction besides animated, more live action, I think was like X-Men, and I was just enamored with that movie. I know people say what you want about it, say what you want about it, but I've always loved, like, a group dynamic. Again, that's why I
Yes.
love Justice League because it's all of them together.
Right.
I
Teamed up.
love a team, yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." I think I watched a little bit of X-Men back then, but not enough. So I didn't know all the characters, but I loved that movie, and I that's when I was first introduced to Aurora Monroe,
That's
and
right, Storm,
I loved Storm, and I was
the
like,
goddess.
"Oh, yes, the queen." And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." And again, there's problems with that with, like, Rogue and stuff, but I was like, "This is so cool." And I don't think we had other superhero actually, no, sorry. I think my first movie was Batman Forever.
Okay. That is that the Clooney one? Or
No,
the
so, you know,
No.
whatever Batman movie has Seal in it, the
Oh,
Seal
yeah.
song, "Kiss from a Rose," that was my first superhero movie. So I guess Batman was my introduction to.
That was the second Batman with Michael Keaton.
Yes. That
Kissed by a
Kiss
rose
from Kiss from
on
a
the grave.
Rose.
yeah, that was my
I
first, and I was like, "This
Yeah.
is cool. This is cool." But I've always, like, loved nerdy stuff, like, one of my favorite movies is The Matrix, so, like, I love
Oh, yeah,
which is based off of anime stuff, which just makes sense, but
for sure.
I I love yeah, I've always loved, like, alternative universes and, like, people with powers. I just thought that was, like,
Yeah. It's
so
our
cool.
mythology, it's our
Yeah,
This one,
a modern take on
this
mythology.
this universe isn't enough for you, Ashley?
it's not. That's why when it this escapism. But
Yeah.
that's why too, I was so when I finally saw Superman, and I know whatever people always compare things, but that's just art in general. But I was like, I feel like I like that he's more Saturday morning cartoon Superman.
Me
Um,
too.
because that's what we need. We need a beacon of hope, and I those cartoons, like, were all about that, and I
Yeah,
that's one thing I resonated with was, like, they band together to fight evil, and they had their issues, but at the end of the day, they would fight evil, and, like, good
right.
prevails, and I think that that's I liken that to Elphaba, and, like, just I think being a beacon of hope is what people really need in today's day and age. I think that definitely was that for people.
Too right. Too right. I mean, not to mention it was complicated. He acted Superman acted on his own. Spoiler
Mhm.
alert, he acted on his own to intervene between two nations at war, and that's complicated, because there's a
Yeah,
lot of people on the planet with ideas on how things should work, and some
yeah,
of them have power and most of them don't.
yeah,
So, what happens next?
100%.
I'm trying to figure out where what happened next. You guys jumped into comics. Did you wrap up talking about your Superman experience?
No,
No,
we
mate.
just talked about
Oh, redirected. Is
yeah.
there anything else you wanted to add on the Superman, and I'll try and stitch it together?
Yeah, I wanna go
Um,
back to that.
uh,
Okay, you were saying that you actually got to perform on the last day of the week, and you were very acclimatized, and, you got to see how James directs, and yes.
yes. So, I just did an interview the other day about someone who's a huge Superman fan. Also, Superman for Ohio. It was cool that they brought that to Ohio. And I think what was cool was I got to again, I feel very comfortable say I feel very comfortable taking direction. And I remember thinking like, of course I was gonna be directed. But I was like, I'm being directed by James Gunn. Like, how cool is that? And so me and Mr. Terrific, we would just do a bunch of different iterations of that scene and I would give him something different every time so that he had something different to play off of, and then James Gunn would direct us. I'd be like, "Okay, let's try it like this," or, and there's one time I think I said the line wrong, but I didn't get in my head about it. He's like, "Oh, the line is this." Again, I'm like, "Oh, that's just, it's nothing
Yeah.
more or less. It's just direction." You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, yeah, I said the line wrong. It's just a correction of that." Instead of being like, "Oh, no. Oh, no." You know what I mean? Like, I didn't spiral. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I said it wrong. Okay, going back to that," and just really grounding myself and just honestly, I was like, "I just wanna have fun. I don't wanna put any pressure on myself. I wanna go in there. I wanna have fun." Fun story is, like, I am nearsighted, so I can't see distance, and that opening scene when I'm looking towards the tent, I could not see all the way down there, and it was dark, and I have an astigmatism. And so, I remember I was so nervous. I was like, "Can I wear" those are my glasses. I was like, "Can I wear my glasses?" And, we get it approved, and they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what I've done if I had to see my I would be able to do it, but, like, my glasses, these glasses I wear in that scene are my own glasses that I had to wear because I could not see." Um,
Funny.
so that's just a funny tidbit, and it worked because I'm a
Yeah.
scientist, but, I couldn't see it. I remember a thing I was really proud of myself was just taking initiative of, my scene starts, like, we get attacked by, Mr. Terrific. In the
Mhm.
aftermath, there's someone in front of me, and so I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help her up and point for her to go to take shelter." That wasn't direction, I was just like, "That would just
Yeah.
make sense to me." And then I have that moment where I walk up to the tent, which was I'm surprised. Again, I was like, "You know what? If they don't keep anything in this film, I understand, like, time is money, money is time. I am so grateful I had this opportunity, like, I'll never not have this opportunity, but regardless if I ever have the footage." And so I was surprised at how much he kept, like, of even Superman walking across frame, I was like, they kept that. There's an instance you see me just on the beach, and then later you see that whole segment of me helping the girl up and then walking towards the tent. They could have cut all that. I could have just walked into the damn tent. So I was like, "Oh, I must have been doing something right that, like, so many people had to see all this to write all this off to say that's okay." But I remember I was like, "I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna make choices that make sense. I'm not gonna
Mm.
overstep. I'm gonna know that my role is to do XYZ. I'm not trying to take away from any of the main characters in this. I'm gonna be of assistance and have fun." And that's literally what I was like, "I'm gonna do." I remember I coached with a friend of mine, not even for lines, just for environment. I was like, 'Cause I feel like sometimes I can get really stagnant in my body, and I want my body to feel alive, 'cause especially after what's just happened, and so we kind of played with that, and a big piece of advice he gave me was like, "If you can get into your space, familiarize with your space. This is your computer. Okay, this is what you do XYZ. This is your phone. This is your this. Touch it, feel it, and don't just do arbitrary movement. Be very intentional." Something else I do is like motion capture sometimes for video games. Everything's super intentional. You're not just like typing on a computer. You're not just reaching for a phone. So make sure there's intention with everything that you're doing. Make sure that the stuff you feel like it's yours. It's not like this is not your first time sitting at this computer. It's not your first time trying to
Mm.
close this portal. You know what I mean? Like it is the first time trying to close this
Yes.
portal. But like so
Yeah.
that was so much more valuable than like, my next line is this, and that's gonna be because you know what I mean? It was more like,
Yeah.
okay, this is my space, this is my tent, this is my machine. I created this machine.
Uh-huh.
So like that was such a huge help was also like there's so many other things you can also just use your imagination with and also be familiar
Yeah.
with and also be intentional with. So that was my thing. It's like so often in movies you see
Yeah.
people typing, they're like, it's like no one types like that. It's
Yeah.
like, what am I actually I was actually trying to type things on the computer. So it didn't look like I was just hitting AAFF
A bunch of
Yeah.
DDD.
J's. J,
Yeah.
J, J,
Yeah,
J.
that's good 'cause it gets you out of your head as well, right? So you're actually in the zone, and then
Mhm.
the words are just falling out of your mouth. But how
Mhm.
cool is it that you got to play a scientist? Colin loves science. He's like a science nerd.
Love
I'm, like,
science.
not good at science, but I do love it. I love
You don't have to be
science
good
of
at
the
it.
mind. I
Yeah,
love,
you
like,
don't have to be good at it.
psychology.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I thought it was for me, I thought it was cool that, like, at the time that I created this this, portal, but it was really fun. I was like again, I was, like, also thinking about that too, like, I'm a scientist, but not getting too caught up in, like, my idea of a scientist because my
Good.
scientist is very different than, like, other like, a biologist. You know
Doc
what I
Brown.
mean? Yeah. Doc Brown's great.
Well, actually,
Come
your
on, call back.
scientist is actually pretty close to Doc Brown.
'Cause of
Yeah.
future, yes, yes, in
Yeah, yeah.
time, but
I
I'm
take
not
that back.
as but also, like, Doc Brown's approach to it's very different than mine. So I think
Correct.
it's very easy to be like, "This is how a scientist should react in this situation." I
Uh-huh.
think it was, like, nice to just give myself the freedom to explore that also and, find out what works and what makes sense for this movie in this moment with
That's
this
great
other
insight.
person. Yeah.
That's such great insight.
Some things you have to
Wow.
find on a set. That's why also my friend was like, "I suggest if you can get to set, familiarize with it, so by the time you get rolling, you've been in the space and you feel safe in the space. You know where you can move. If you don't have rehearsal before you shoot, you know where you can move. You'll know where the camera is, how you need to adjust your work to open up to frame, and what you're doing. So you're not there like, "Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I've been doing this for a long time. What else am I doing?" Go through your practice. If I was coming into work, what would I be doing? Okay, this is the first thing I would do. This is the second thing I do. You know what I mean? So like as
Yeah.
much as you give yourself as much I'm very much like from theater. I just love a task. I love something to do. Give me something to do because then I'm not in my
Well,
head.
you must love the motion capture with the video games
I've only done
'cause
it
that is
my yeah, I've only done my boyfriend does a lot more of it. I've only done it
okay.
once, My boyfriend's on tactical stuff, which I feel like that's so much more movement. Mine was kind of more, vibing type of movement because it was for
Okay.
NBA 2K23, so I'm more just like, da da
Oh,
da da, just free flow with my body and just, like, moving my words where that's very specific, intentional movement, and my friend that I went to does a lot of, physical work and a lot of
yeah.
he actually helps with the mocap studio. I think doing motion capture for video games, for movies is so good because you have to be so aware of your body at all times because the camera's picking up every single thing that you're doing, and whether you're having the dots on yourself or you're just on front, every camera's always picking up everything you're doing. So if you feel,
Yeah,
like, stagnant in the lower part of your body, it's gonna show up on camera. So,
Yeah. Everything
unless
has to be
that's
done with
intentional.
intention, right?
Yeah, unless you're doing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
because you wanna be grounded or whatever. So, like, I was like, "Oh, I wanna make sure
Okay.
that, like, I wanna make sure that I'm not just getting stuck. Because as for me, we talked about this so many times, Tom, I can get really cerebral real quick, and I get real caught on my lines because I
Nah.
I love language, and so for me, I'm like, language is so important, so every little word has to be correct, and everything has to be like this. I can get really caught in that. So for me, the more I'm in my body, the less I am in my head. And so, like, for me specifically, I have to give myself like an action, a task, something to do, or I'm going to be like, I said that line weird. Oh, nope, that's not the
Yeah.
line. Oh, nope, why'd I say that? Oh, I added that. You know what I mean? So the more I'm in
Yeah.
it, and we've talked about this a lot in our scenes, I also felt like I've given myself a lot more freedom now, but I used to be
Hmm.
so married to the script because I know how important the words are. I know how important words are. That's how I am. I write poetry. I know how important words are. So I would go crazy trying to be word perfect. And I've had to learn that yes, words are important.
Well,
Two things can exist, but also it's okay. It's
can
okay.
you read us one of your poems?
That'll be $40.
I've got 33 in my wallet.
yeah,
Are we
we'll
is
attach
the
your
camera
Venmo so everybody can contribute
Thank you
$40 who
guys.
listens.
My Venmo is at Ashleigh Morghan. I'm just kidding. I haven't written poetry in a while. Let me see if I can find one. That's one of my goals for this year is to write more poetry. Okay. I don't usually do this. So the user in for TREAT.
Yes.
For those of you who can't
Get a
spell, that's treat.
I
treat.
have to be careful with that word around here. You guys know who's outside.
Oh, that's why it was strategic. It was intentional. I like it.
Very.
Okay. I wrote this one with a friend, but I think it's really pretty. Okay, it's called "If Love Were an Ocean" by Ashleigh Morgan and Ashley, another Ashley. If love were an ocean, I would linger on the beach, granulating the sand in between my toes, too apprehensive of what might become of the shore. In a heedful stance at the tip of the coast, I'd begin to look out into the water, attempting to discern how cold it really is. The ripples and the waves seemed to viciously taunt me as I continuously creep toward my exposed feet, wetting them and then shying back into their element. I'd freeze and begin to ponder a while, contemplating if it's even worth being drifted into its currents, if I have the strength and courage to battle its ripples. The sound of the crashing waves would begin to retreat me. So alluring and so calming, I'd become hypnotized to its sound, and like a naive child, I'd effortlessly give in. Entranced by its melody, I'd negligently forget all I prepared for and slowly saunter in it toward its mesmerizing ocean. The sharp biting cold would take a hold of my soul before my feet could even graze the teeth of the white foam. Before I realize it, I'm immersed in its death-like tidal wave, floating further from the beach and deeper into its core. So oh, that's different. Sorry, yeah. Yeah.
How
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I was just
Yeah.
sat here with my eyes closed, imagining I was there. You're
Yeah, so I love how words can evoke certain things. So I would just I would be so obsessive about my I wish you guys would see me, like, doing auditions back in the day. When we get, like, 15-page auditions, I'm like, "I have to be word perfect." And I'd be, like, on page 5, baby, in the monologue, and I would "No!" And I would, like, spiral and freak out, and I have to
Oh.
start over. I said "the" and it's Like, that's how psychotic I was about
Whoa.
it.
Well, you did say at the very start that you were looking to study, the psychiatrics of, the criminally insane. So,
My first
how
test
cool
subject was me.
would you love to play that role in a film?
Like a Clarice?
A
Yeah,
Clarice.
or like,
Yeah.
Harley Quinn.
Harley
Harley
Quinn. Yeah.
Oh, so
Pre
Har
pre
Harley
Harlequin. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
like yeah,
Harley's? Harley is interesting because I think what I love about the animated show is, like, in the movie, sometimes they always forget that has a PhD. She's
Yeah,
really intelligent. They always lean into, like, "Mr. J," and "No, no, 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 Mr. J."
Mr.
But she's
J.
but she's really intelligent, and I love how the show explores her degree, her doctorate degree,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not just the aftermath of what happens
It's
with
more
her.
grounded in reality.
That, but also everyone
Yeah.
likes to talk about post-Joker and
Yeah.
not pre-Joker or with the Joker, and
Yeah.
that churn, I think it's fascinating that I would never fall in love with my patient, but I do find it fascinating that her empathy allowed, which is what I feel, my empathy allows me to connect with people. It's empathy, but also it's like I can agree that it's also psychotic in nature, but empathy allows me to try to help, and I feel like that's how I
Mm.
resonate with Harley, 'cause her empathy. Not that I'm trying to fall in love with a psychopath, but
Well,
I think it'd
good
be
luck.
fun to watch it, yeah. It'd be fun to watch, but I don't know if I wanna be I don't know, maybe I could play that. I don't know, like, there's, like, all
But
those yeah.
Imma do some nerd fan service for all the fans out there. She was created for Batman, the animated series. That's where she was born into the DC universe. Fast forward, there's a really great comic with wonderful art where they explore Harley, the doctor who
Harleen
begins her
Quinzel.
yeah, she begins her relationship with the Joker in Arkham Asylum,
Mhm,
doing interviews, right? Like what you
mhm,
talked about earlier, your life pursuit that you derailed yourself from. It's great. It's a great tale. It's really explores a lot as it comes to the human condition, and the Joker's really fun in comics because he allows a storyteller to have this extreme manipulative character who has no boundaries, and how that bleeds into this character who doesn't have any of those traits, not to start out with, but then
mhm,
starts to invoke some of that in them. So it becomes really, really interesting, and the lines get blurred, and you're like, wait a minute, should I care about this character anymore, or has she
right.
gone too far? Yeah, it's super cool.
I love that's what I love about her, but I feel like the, live action iterations of her, I feel like we've not seen her intelligence.
Yeah, more the sexualized side, right? Like,
Correct, which
You
I
think
feel
I'm a
like is
sexy psychopath.
correct. That's why, like, again, the animated does a good way of showing, like, when her degree in psychology comes in, it's like, "Wait a minute, Harley." But
Mhm.
again, she has free will and to do as she pleases, but I just feel like I would love to see that side of her more.
maybe you could write a coming of age style drama story of her through
I don't know
her
her that well. I mean, there's
high school years
I don't know her
based
that
on
well.
you, based on you.
I do see a lot more of her, like, family life in the show, but I don't. Yeah, I would leave that up to someone who's actually knows a lot more. I would love to see that. We had a Harley Quinn movie, though, so I don't know if we've missed that unless we
Yeah.
can go back in time.
Birds of prey.
Yeah.
Well, you could do a
May
revisionist history like Tommy said, where you actually went became a criminally insane psychologist.
God, that'd be crazy.
Can you hire me as the,
The
can you
The
cast me
criminally
as
insane?
the
yeah, I knew you wouldn't be the criminally
no,
insane one, Tom.
as the train conductor, obviously.
Wait, this conductor that's conducting the music or the train conductor?
Oh, the train conductor who
You're
gets you
I'll
to
be
the
in,
asylum.
yeah,
I'll
on the
be in that room with the glass that you can't see through. We're watching
just
you,
conducting.
and I'm just like, "Now watch her." She's working her
That'd
magic on the
be
patient.
iconic, and you're cast. You don't even have
How
to
about
sit in the
this?
tape.
Tommy's the train conductor, but the twist is the whole time you're shown as the clinical psychologist, he's shown as the train conductor, and you have your patients at the asylum. But the whole time, Tommy's actually the clinical psychologist. You're
And
actually the
I'm
criminally
insane.
insane.
Some, like, Shutter
That's
Island
what
type
I was
stuff?
literally thinking Shutter Island. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That
That'd
is
be
one of my
sick.
favorites of
And
all
he just
time.
allows
Wow.
me because I always wanted to become a psychologist, one of my,
Yeah,
exercises is to allow me to pretend to be one.
yeah. There you go.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes.
twist.
I love it.
That's interesting. Well, we just ruined it for everybody, but it is we told the twist already, but
I
it's
mean,
still
come on,
good.
if you haven't seen it or Shutter Island already, come on,
No, no,
it's
not
been a
Shutter
long
Island. I
time.
mean, our
Oh.
our this short.
Oh, ours?
That's
Yeah.
all
Okay.
right though. That's all right. It's all about the performance,
Yeah.
It
We'll
all
call
hang
it
it on the
it
performance.
we'll call it Truly Becoming.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Oh,
Truly be crazy.
And truly be
Truly
wild.
be crazy. Truly be
truly
That'd be
wild.
becoming
fun. Tom, get to writing, Tom.
the truth within.
So, yeah,
I
that's
do.
that. You right.
Love it.
I fancy a truly becoming movie.
I mean,
Maybe I'm
it kind of
plotting it.
wrote itself. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's there's something there. That'd be
yeah.
really interesting. Yeah,
I
that'd be
like
Definitely.
really
it.
interesting.
I
I love
want
mindfucks.
I want to work with you again, Ashley. And
Come
where are we
back,
going to do that?
Tom.
I know.
He's working on it.
Somebody sponsor me.
Truly Becoming's gonna sponsor him at some point, too.
Hell yeah. You
Yeah,
heard it here first, folks.
Sponsor his visa.
You've heard
Yeah.
it here, folks. I'm
that
manifesting
would be
that for
cool.
you. If that's what
Thank
you
you.
should want, I'm manifesting that for you.
That's very kind of you, guys. I got to wrap up here.
Boo.
I know.
So you leave the studio. You gotta wrap up
Yeah,
here. Like, come
yeah.
on, Tom. Way to be the number one on the call sheet over here. Just messing with you.
uh,
It's pretty late there, I'm
is
sure.
is there anything that you wanted to talk about, Ashley, or
You said
introduce,
games.
or?
You said games.
Oh
Is there anything
yeah,
else?
let's talk about the games. You want to talk about the games?
I know you said you wanna talk about the games.
Well, I know Colin was very interested in the voiceover stuff of it because
Yeah.
part of like us doing this,
Mhm.
I think Colin has a wonderful voice and could be doing voiceover acting, and so I think he's curious to learn more about that through you.
Yeah. What do you wanna know, Colin?
All of it. We should unpack that. We say this a lot, and it's true. We should have another chat because we know you're gonna be busy. We wanna know what you're promoting, if anything. Tommy also mentioned a nerd culture podcast.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I saw that somewhere. Well,
I don't know,
you,
on my website, probably coming soon.
it,
I interviewed
yeah.
I it's called Sincerely, Nerds. No, you don't say the comma. Let me try that again. It's called Sincerely
Oh,
Nerds,
I thought it was sincerely common nerds.
comma. Why'd I do that? That's so embarrassing. But it was initially created for I think it was because 'cause I'm still kind of oscillating between how I wanna do this. For females or people who identify as women,
Okay,
in the
lovely.
nerd space, because I have been a nerd my whole life. I literally have pictures of me playing Super Nintendo when I was, like, 5, and I've been watching anime for a very long time, and it's
Mhm.
just, like, I feel like sometimes being in this space can be a little challenging. So that's kind of what the podcast was about, which is great because I started a long time ago, and I've only interviewed, I think, 2 people, but
Okay.
I now is someone that was on my board I wanted to interview, I've now become friends with, so it's like now I've so basically my boyfriend does conventions, he's in Resident Evil, and so I've
Okay.
traveled a lot, and because of that, I've
Wow.
met a lot of really cool voice actors that I'm now befriended, so now I have, like, this database of people that I can
Whoa.
interview, but
That's
I was,
cool.
like, wondering if I'm limiting myself to is this a space I want for only women, or is this a space that I
Mm.
can have anybody? So that's kind of why it's on pause, on
I
hiatus right now.
I could see that struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, because like, do I limit myself and only do women, but also then we get to have this unique perspective? Or do I get everybody and get this, like, unique perspective of, like,
Mm.
they're it basically is like your fan letter to nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe if you introduce it to people, like in conversation, and I guess if they take a real interest and make it abundantly clear that they want to talk to you, then that I guess opens it up to anybody.
yeah,
But I guess if it depends on like who do you want to hear it?
yeah.
I
I
mean,
need to
please
sit down.
champion, yeah,
Yeah,
the
women.
female voice or the person who identifies as a female and
Yeah.
nerds because I'm a deep, dark nerd. I wish I could. This is the most I've talked about nerd stuff in one conversation in a long time, and it's like it does feel like that part of me is so shut in. So it would
Mhm.
be always wonderful to have it opened up and made available.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I lead with more females,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I have because I now I have and a lot of these people are freaking nerds that I know, like huge nerds, and I think it's cool. Like my friend last night, his roommate's been playing Magic: The Gathering since '94. Like that's crazy.
This is
Like that's
94.
so cool. Like that's
Yeah.
OG. You know what I mean? Like that's
OG Magic the Gathering for sure.
like you know. And so does car. I just think it's just so many different. Like also nerd is so ambiguous. So like I want to just be very
Yeah.
clear on what like my goal
What is a
is.
nerd to you?
Anyone that likes nerd culture, that's how I'd identify it. I
You
don't,
know,
gatekeep and stuff.
we could cut this last 5 minutes out and send it to you, and you can use that, as one of your episodes.
How oh, look at Tom trying to get on the podcast. I think I was overdoing it too. I
I'm
was doing
asking for a friend.
You can do it. I think I did too much with video. I think video can get costly. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
going to the studio and doing video, so I might just do, like, an audio thing and then later down the road. But
Yeah,
the thing
put it
is, though,
behind the
some people
paywall.
like to watch podcasts. They like to watch podcasts and don't like to listen to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Trust me,
silent
we've had all these conversations, don't me wrong.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Over 3 years.
I have another podcast that I do with a couple girlfriends called Talking All Proper, and
Oh.
it's 3 Black girls talking about the Black girl experience and how we're not a monolith. And so we found, again, when we first started, we finished a full season. We first started, it was challenging to do on camera because you had to get dressed up and, like, look presentable. And we found so much more freedom with just the audio portion of it.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
Yeah.
but people like my roommate, her podcast, she watches on YouTube. She doesn't listen to her podcast. She watches
Yeah.
the visual aspect of it. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
different things, when it so I think just finding
Just
what
get it
works
Yeah.
for
out
you
there.
and what makes
We
the most sense
we
when you're starting out.
we definitely had a lot of conversations about this. I met someone the other day who was like, no one listens to podcasts anymore. The younger generation watch them with subtitles whilst they're in college in a lecture because they can't have the sound on because they can't be seen wearing headphones. But then Colin and I were like, where do you listen to podcasts? And so I listen to them when I'm driving or when I'm
Same.
in the gym or when I'm cooking. So I never see them. I only listen to them.
Right.
And so it makes complete sense for this podcast to be an audio-based podcast because the types of people who may listen are probably in the gym, driving, or cooking. And it's like, those are my people.
Yeah, I also think it's also like the topic was like our topics were I feel like something you don't have to watch us. I feel like some we
Yeah.
have big
Yeah.
personalities and it's like da, 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 da. Like I think it's fun to watch that, but when we're like I
Uh-huh.
don't know. I think yeah, I think starting off it was great to just do audio and down the
Yeah.
road. If we can afford to do both, then do both.
Yeah,
I think
once we've leveled up
yeah, and
and
get
Colin's got me
established.
out to Denver and we have a studio, well,
Yeah. And Colin flies you
uh,
out to Denver and puts you up
yeah,
and sponsors you. Then
there you go.
no pressure, Colin.
It's okay. I love it.
All right.
More to come, eh?
Thank you.
Ashleigh, this was so fun. I love meeting you.
Yeah.
Can't
You
wait to
guys as
chat again
Yeah.
well.
sometime.
We'll
I
come
could
back.
talk to you for
We'll
hours.
do voiceover. We'll talk about voiceover and
Yeah.
we'll
Do
talk
some.
about
Your
uh,
stunt work.
oh no. I did one little job. I don't know if I consider that stunt work.
I want to know about it.
It's crazy. We'll do a part deux.
Part deux.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's do it.
Like the Joker.
See what I did there?
Oh,
It's always a callback.
Yes. Yeah,
Always a callback.
I'm wired in.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I hope that some of this stuff resonates with people or like if you guys still have questions. And right now I'm not working. So if y'all want to do a part deux, you just let me know. You know where
Okay.
to find me.
Okay.
Me and
All
Mochi
right.
will be right here. Same place, same setup.
Wonderful.
Okay. Sounds good.
Have a good
Thank
rest
you
of your
so
day.
much. Yeah.
Cheers.
Take
Bye, Ashleigh.
care, Ashley. Bye-bye.
I loved it.
Oh, yeah, me too. She's great.
She is really great.
She is.
She is so wise and full of experiential knowledge that she's able to, I think, very clearly communicate. And that's actually a skill. That's hard to do. And when I say clearly, I mean, she's like, there's a beginning, middle, and end. There's the journey, and then there's the lesson. And it never feels forceful, right? It just feels like, hey, this is wisdom.
Yeah.
Listen up.
Yeah. I think I had like at least a handful more questions that I intended to ask Ashley, but she just kind of like
Yeah.
answered them and I was deleting them off the list
I
as we
I
went.
was,
And it's like,
yeah,
great.
I
You
was
see-
noticing that. I was like, oh,
You
yeah.
saw the list?
She's just mowing right through this, man. I love her.
Yeah. It's like 10 specific questions. And then
Yeah.
1/3 of the way through, there was like 3 left. And it was like, I've only asked 2, I think.
So
Um,
I loved how raw this episode was. I really
Yeah.
liked the interruptions and you getting kicked out of studio and you coming back. So this might be the
We'll have to
longest
see
episode
about
we.
that.
This might be the longest episode we have released to date, and I hope that is true.
We'll
Tom, the
see.
editor, will have to find out.
Mate, that was class. I enjoyed that a lot. She's great. We'll definitely do a follow-up, and, I'm proud of her. You know, I started working with Ashleigh, on scenes wow, it must have been at least 4 years ago, and, I'd known about, like, quite a few series that she's appeared in, and, films that you can actually find on Netflix and HBO, but, yeah, I'm proud of her. She's gone on to do some really cool things, and,
Same.
yeah,
For someone
I
who's just
was
met her, I'm proud of her.
awesome.
Alright.
See you, bro. Peace.
Love you, man.
Bye-bye. Bye. You
Bye-bye.
too, man.